Today, the story I would like to share with my fellow founders is about perseverance and resilience. This story is about Elon Musk. In 2008, both Tesla and SpaceX faced severe financial difficulties. Musk had invested $100 million of his own money into SpaceX, funding 3 rocket launches, all of which were failed. Musk had to decide whether to split the remaining funds into SpaceX and Tesla or focus on one, risking the other's survival. He ultimately chose to divide his funds to keep both companies afloat. After securing $1.6 billion contract with NASA for SpaceX and closing a crucial financing round for Tesla, both companies started to recover, leading to Musk's eventual rise to billionaire status. As of September 2025, Musk's net worth is estimated to be $384 billion, primarily from his stakes in Tesla and SpaceX. So the moral of the story is perseverance and resilience is always winner. So all the founders should always keep pushing, keep doing the great work, keep hustling. This is your host, Fahad Guraya, and today I am bringing you a very exciting guest. Today I'm super excited to invite our very respected guest, all the way from Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Mr. Ahmed-Al-Thukair. Hello Ahmed, how are you doing?
Hi, Fahad. Great to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure to have you on the show, sir. So please tell me, how is Saudi? Is it getting colder? Are we getting some moving towards cold weather and the hotness is reducing?
Oh, it's becoming better and better now. Heat is going down. We're surviving, alhamdulillah. Very excited for, autumn and winter to come by. Hopefully, when you're in Saudi, inshallah, visiting, we'll take you definitely to a Saudi gathering in the desert where you will experience an authentic Saudi experience.
I would love to join you. So please tell me, who is Ahmed? Tell me about yourself, please.
Sure, Fahad. So Ahmed-Al-Thukair started in the ecosystem 14 years ago as a founder. I started an e-commerce platform called Mzayed. It's a B2B and a B2C, and I was, alhamdulillah, lucky to get acquired in 2014. I stayed for an advisor for 6 months, and then I moved into my next big thing. And I always question myself, what would be your next big thing, Ahmed? And I realized that enabling founders and supporting founders is my next big thing, and creating a change in the world, even if it was 1%. So I started my angel path, and I started supporting founders. I was lucky, alhamdulillah, to be working with Plug and Play in Palo Alto, Techstars in Boston, working with amazing people, learning from them, meeting thousands and thousands of founders. And in 2021, I took all this knowledge and I shifted my focus towards MENA purely, and focusing especially on the GCC. So since 2021, we took a more of a syndicate approach where we enabled founders not only by cash but as well as hands-on. Alhamdulillah, we have a very successful dummy fund. And inshallah, within the upcoming 2 months, we'll be launching another fund, uh, inshallah, focusing on the
Amazing,
region.
amazing. What a great start. Your first company you founded in back in 2011, just for our founders who are listening to, so they get inspired, they listen to you and your experience. So please tell me how you came at the idea, what you did, how you exited.
Sure, Fahad. So, founders today are very lucky to be living in an amazing ecosystem. 14 years ago, believe me when I tell you, no one knew what VC and startup investment valuations are, and future value. So, I had 58 no's, two yeses, and I had to choose and navigate between the two yeses. And I highly encourage founders to, weigh pros and cons between investors. We took a strategic partner, a large conglomerate corporate, who ended up acquiring us. Fahad, when I partnered up with my co-founder, it wasn't easy. We kept refining and refining and refining our business model until it made sense. We started from a B2B perspective. We haven't seen a tick up. And then we went into the B2C just to grab traction and traffic, and it grew. I mean, my advice for founders is to constantly be obsessed with feedback and go back and forth to your end customer, understand, iterate, and that the way for success.
Definitely. Wow. And that gives you a big dopamine level and skyrocket your dopamine level. So you said, let's get into the startup world.
Absolutely. So Fahad, I was lucky, alhamdulillah, to experience firsthand with my own money and not risk other people's money in choosing and validating my investment thesis and my investment knowledge. So I was in a tough situation actually between two startups. Uh, I went back and forth evaluating and looking around and everything. And to be honest, uh, I had deep conversations with the founders, and I thought that taking a holistic approach in a startup back then was a good capturing moment, covering all aspects and angles. And by time today, I realized that being specific and focused, providing a unique value proposition, and excelling and being that master of it is the secret sauce of success. So I ended up investing in the holistic approach. Eventually it lost, and I'm grateful. I'm not mad, but I'm grateful that I learned, and it's a learning curve. It's a hefty one, yes, expensive learning. I wish I learned through a Coursera or a conversation with a founder rather than losing quite some money. But it gave me the sense of focus, 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 focus. Master what you're doing, be a master of one thing, and then expand. So that's the fruit of that story, as they say.
And of course, you said that you choose one startup out of two. What some investors say, I don't know if I agree with that or not, but some investors say de-risk and put your eggs in all the baskets. So you could have invested in both, but half of the check size, and then you could have you will not lose all the money. You will still get some upside, and that the pain you get when you lose the money, that is the pain which will teach you the really good lesson which you will never forget. I have that experience. That's amazing story, definitely. And you have been to this founder world, and you have exited startups, and I always love to listen to those people who have already done some exits, because most of the VCs and investors haven't done exits, and only few did that. And they really know the pains of the founders, and they really know how to help the founders and how to guide them and how to make that startup exit or have a bigger impact of that startup. So that's amazing, and that's how you started, I guess, coming into the venture world. And so, how is it going now? I mean, tell me, after you exited, what you did next, after for next few years after their first exit.
Sure. So when I exited, as I told you before, I was thinking about what should I do next? Should I start another startup? Kind of that aha moment hit me, and I was like, Ahmed, uh, you've been 4 years being crushed by that ecosystem. No one was helping you, no mentors, nothing. And I wanted to have this learning curve from a mature ecosystem. So I started, going to Palo Alto, Boston, and all developed VC markets, learning from the best, to be honest. I'm a very social person. So any gathering of founders, any gathering of VCs, angels, you would find me there. And I started gradually building that connection with people. And as I tell you, Fahad, يعني we're in the business of people. So it's more about that human interaction and human click. And then down the line, you would definitely see where things go in terms of investment. So I started after I exited as an angel. I worked with a family office based in Kuwait. I was lucky, and they were lucky. They had to enter the venture world by de-risking and co-investing
Let's
with
move to the next
myself.
question.
And I was lucky. I was given the liberty of time, which is something very valuable, to do my own thing, invest, and let them co-invest with me. So I spent that in doing what I love most. Alhamdulillah, I was able to have 5 successful exits, and that just affirmed more and more about the investment thesis that I'm focusing on.
Tell me, how is the startup ecosystem in Saudi Arabia? What are the opportunities for the LPs, for the new investors to come into the Saudi venture system and invest there? Tell me more details from the LPs' point of view. If some LPs are from Europe or from US or from abroad, what are the opportunities in Saudi market or GCC
I'll
or
talk.
MENA region? Yeah.
Sure. But I'll talk from a numbers perspective. I'm a fund manager, so I always talk from a numbers perspective. Now, if I'm going to talk to LPs, I have two major anchors, I would say. First of all, population, 70% below 35. Mobile penetration and technology penetration is above 97% in Saudi Arabia. This is number one. Number two, you have all the government support, contribution. Saudi wants to move SMEs from being 30% to 45% contribution to GDP. There is a huge governmental support when it comes to the ecosystem. We have a goal in 2035 to have 65 unicorns in Saudi Arabia alone. All of those indications gives you a much understanding on how the Saudi government is enabling founders, investors from all the globe to help them come to Saudi, build something, and launch it from Saudi. I believe today Saudi was one of the greatest ecosystems to be in the region, if not the world. You have subsidies from government, you have innovation hubs, you have tons of accelerators, you have all the support you need and tools you need to succeed. It's all about you being a founder, having the founder personality traits, finding the right product market fit for you to thrive. And I believe that Saudi has a different playbook than any GCC country. We have our unique culture, we have our unique approach. And if you, as a founder, were able to unlock that playbook, you're definitely going to excel in Saudi Arabia and in the GCC region and MENA, wider MENA as well.
Could you please could you please give me some examples of recent big exits or IPOs that can be encouraging for the investors?
Sure. So we have Jahiz, the food delivery platform, first of all. We have Talabat. Noon is coming up. A lot of pre-IPOs are cooking within the ecosystem. I can't disclose since I signed a couple of NDAs looking at those opportunities or being advisors to those founders in a unicorn status. But believe me when I tell you, amazing things are brewing within the system of the MENA region. Example, Egypt Value has been listed, which is a fintech that enables SMEs. So given the whole ecosystem, we've seen evidence on growing markups and realized gains. We've seen markups on actual realized gains. We've seen investors exit from funds and get multiples on their money. That's all affirmation on that this region in the world is excelling in growth.
What is Vision 2030?
Yes, sure, absolutely. So we are very lucky, alhamdulillah, to have this vision in our country, led by King Salman and Crown Prince, Prince Mohammed. It started 10 years ago, in 2016 or 2015, we had a vision on Saudi not being reliant on oil in 2030, having giga projects, being an attractive place for entrepreneurs, startups, tourism, and all of that. And Alhamdulillah, 10 years from today, we've seen amazing accomplishments when it comes to the economy, the growth, the tourism, name it. And I believe that Saudi today is focusing on being one of the top leaders in the world when it comes to pioneering industries. And you ask me, Ahmed, what is pioneering industries today? Saudi wants to be an exporter of technology. Believe me when I tell you, every stakeholder in the ecosystem is trying to help in positioning Saudi being a leader, an exporter of technology. I've spoken with regulators. They're, I was amazed by the level of help they provided. They're like, just state what you need. We are here to facilitate, help, and make that ecosystem grow. This is all from the national vision of 2030. And believe me, Fahad, when I tell you, everyone in Saudi is aligned to achieve that vision and go beyond it. So we're very proud to be a part of that. In any small contribution.
That's amazing. That's great. Are you investing right now?
Yes, I am investing in Saudi startups, supporting Saudi founders in growing and excelling their startups. I take a different approach a little bit. We deploy capital and we help founders. We're not only deploying capital, we also have an operator's approach, if needed by the founder, definitely.
Amazing, amazing. What type of companies do you invest in?
We're sector agnostic, and that's why I tell you, I mean, we are in the people's business, not numbers business. We tend to read people. We tend to read how they act as founder, how agile they are. And there are three complementary sides of it. Mainly, the product and the market are a must. You have the team, which is the founder, and the finances. I would look on to all deals. It all goes back to the jockey, not the horse. I always tell people, since you invest in pre-seed, ideation, and seed stage, it's that jockey that makes you win. I've seen Fahad hundreds of startups when reaching seed plus or pre-series A, or maybe after seed a little bit, they pivot in their business model, they pivot in their revenue model. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, you as a founder need to be agile and twisting when the market doesn't run your way. And that's why you bet on that dynamic founder.
And do you invest in like initial pre-seed stage or ideation stage? Which stages do you invest in?
I invest mostly in ideation and pre-seed stage, mostly. Some exceptions on seed and seed plus. Very rare exceptions, to be honest. But the majority are ideation and pre-seed.
What are you doing right now?
So today I'm at an inflection point. We're launching, inshallah, a fund in the upcoming 2 months, sorry, that is going to serve and cater to the Saudi ecosystem and wider MENA ecosystem. I can't disclose the depth of the fund, but definitely focusing on deep tech, enabling founders, and being a huge part of deep tech ecosystem, commercializing IPs and exporting technology out of Saudi Arabia to the globe.
That's amazing. That's great. And this fund is basically would be investing mostly in Saudi startups, or is it for all the MENA region?
It is focused, I would say, 70% on Saudi startups and 30% would be wider MENA region. But we're very keen, Fahad, on bringing those startups to this amazing ecosystem for them to flourish and grow with governmental and fund support.
What's your advices for the founders? Give me, you have experience of past exits. What two or three advices you will give to the founders when they are raising funds, what they should do and what they shouldn't do?
Okay. Just before going to raising funds, I just want to highlight a specific point for founders who are on ideation. The rule number one is be obsessed with your first customer feedbacks. Be obsessed. They are your true adopters and innovators. They will give you the feedback from heart. Don't put the answer in their mouth. Ask them open-ended questions for them to give you the real problem and for you as a founder and a startup founder to find that solution.
Yeah.
For fundraising, first of all, if you decide to wake up and fundraise today, don't approach investors. Investor relation with founders start before fundraising. If I tell you, Fahad, believe this. Last Saturday, I invested in a startup. I spent a year working closely with the founder from
Yeah.
PowerPoint till he achieved what he's raising today for his pre-seed round. 1 year, Fahad.
Wow.
I went back and forth on monthly meetings, gave from my time, but I believed in the individual. When I tell you we're in the people game, I know this guy is going to make it, but I want him to figure out the right path to success. By him, I can say, listen, it's 1, 2, 3, and we could do it in 2 months. But him as a founder, he needs to build that confidence in his decision making, in his process. So if you're fundraising, build that relationship with investors. 6 months, 9 months. Approach them, ask them what they're investing for, and do your due diligence on the investor. Make sure they invest in the sector you are operating in. They understand your business model and even the stage. I see a lot of founders send me a list like 10 VCs, and they're like, we approached 10 VCs and no one got back to me. First of all, they are in the wrong uh, stage. They approach Series A, Seed Plus, and they're nearly ideation on pre-seed. First of all. Second of all, 10 is a small number. To get conversion, you need to go beyond 50 to get at least one or two to get back to you and give you real feedback from an investor perspective. So don't feel down when someone tells you no. Remember myself 14 years ago, 60 no's, 60
Yeah.
investors,
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
yeses, 58 no's. So it
Wow.
just gives you conviction. Keep going, keep going, keep going, and listen. Always listen.
Yeah, yeah. That's 100% correct, Ahmed. You are right, very right advice. Like, number one, problem solving. Like, if you have started with some problem, uh, you don't need to be very hard and fast on that. Go and listen to the talk to the people, to ask them questions, ask them what is their major pain point, because you might start with something very simple and like which is not really a big problem, but when you start talking with the customers, they will tell you the real pain, and then that would be the aha moment that this is the thing
let
you should solve.
let me tell you a funny story, and sorry to just on that moment.
Sure, sure.
So someone I was mentoring, who's a young brother of a friend of mine, he approached me. He rang me up. Ahmed, how you doing? Long time no see. uh, do you know a good developer? And I said, why do you need a developer? I'm building an idea, and I want someone to. I have zero or some sort of knowledge in coding, but I need someone to kind of work that. Said, listen, I don't know what you're building, but could you pass my office a little bit? And I just want to grab a coffee. I'll give you the contact. I just want to know what you're building. Sits down. We spent an hour and a half. I realized that he created a problem and then he solved that problem. And I said, did you go to the stakeholders of that problem? He said, no, it's an issue. I'm 100% sure it's an issue. And I said, listen, uh, here is a piece of paper, here is a pen, and I want you to sit down in my office, write 5 questions, open-ended questions. that evolve and revolve around your problem that you're solving. And then just go back to your stakeholders, ask them those open-ended questions, and come back to me. He fell in love with the process. He spent 6 weeks, interviewed, I think, 200 or 250 from stakeholders. What he was initially building ended up to be a very small portion of what he's building today. He
100%.
realized that there is a major issue that he was overlooking just because of the sexiness of that topic or business model. Now he's focusing on the major money maker with that side business that was supposedly a core. And I
Yeah.
always tell founders, don't think you're the only guy who thought about this idea. I'm pretty sure a lot of people thought about it. It might have worked, it might not, but it's very good to go back and see why it worked in those countries and why it didn't, for you to not make the same mistakes.
100%, 100%. There are actually two types of founders. Like one is the one who are into the industry, working in that industry, and they see that problem firsthand, and they find out that everybody is looking for the solution for that, and then they just quit their job and just start building that. That's of course the gold, I would say, gold founders, and then they have find out the real problem and they solve it. And of course, they make it sell very easily because there are already customers looking for that solution, and they just go and sell it. But the founders who have no experience into the industry and who have no knowledge and who even didn't talk to the customers, I would say they should talk. You should always talk with 200, 300, 500 people who are your potential customers, and sell them, not for free, just sell them that product. If they are going to if they will be willing to pay for that, then that's the point. You should understand that this is the problem you have solved, and they are willing to buy the product. And you don't need to make the product. You can just sell the solution and then start building it or start making it. So
Exactly.
you don't need to build the product for 2 years and then go to the market and find out, oh, this nobody needs that product.
No one
Nobody.
needs it. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So
Exactly.
don't waste your time. Just start talking to people, start validating your hypothesis that this is the real problem, because you are not the only one to decide if it is a real problem. You have to find the persons who are going to buy your product and who are looking for that kind of solution. So yeah, that's amazing, and I totally agree with Ahmed. You should not. And often the founders, like, they have one meeting point with some investor, and they think that tomorrow they will receive a check or wire transfer into the bank account. It doesn't happen like
You
that.
you
It
you
is a
want to
long
laugh?
process.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You want to laugh? I'll tell you something.
Sure, sure.
I met a young entrepreneur. I mean, he's very inspiring. He's very inspiring, but he's new to the ecosystem. He's building something great, and so he rings me up. Hey, Ahmed, how you doing? By the way, we're starting around, and I said, "Oh, congratulations! All the best of luck." He's like, "I'll send you the pitch deck." I was like, "Okay," and he's like, "But you need to give me a yes or no very quick." I was like, "Why is that?" He's like, I'm eager to close the round in like 10 days." And I look at the phone and I say, "Listen, one question to you: is this your first time to fundraise?" He's like, "Yes." He's like, "Okay, just to manage your expectations, even amazing companies take minimum of a month to 6 weeks for due diligence. And especially when you're in the pre-seed round, I'm pretty sure people will spend more time with you to get to know who you are as a founder, regardless." It has been, I think, 6 weeks today, and he's still in the conversations, building that trust. And I think, I mean, in a perfect world, yes, you might be able to convince investors overnight, but at the end of the day, this is humans' nature to kind of prolong the process, to get to know the founder, to know the idea, to consult people. So don't feel down if someone tells you, "Okay, just a little bit and we'll come back to you." Takes a little bit more in terms of replying back. Keep on pushing, explore venues. That's my advice to you.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I mean, you should not believe, I mean, you should not have your feedback loop that somebody will say, I will not invest in me. That means that you are wrong or your problem is not good. So you have, if there are customers who are willing to buy, number one thing, find the customers, find the people who are willing to pay for that product. And then you have to find millions of people like that who are willing to pay them. That's the simple, I mean, solution, simple model which can make your company grow to very large valuations. And then if you start getting customers revenue and start growing on your own, bootstrapping, you may not need any investors. You see, there are already some startups like Canva, I guess, or Figma. They have done everything bootstrapped. The founders did everything, and they never raised some big round outside there. So the venture or the investment you should only need when you have already validated your hypothesis and you know that this is the problem solution product market fit and people are willing to buy or already buying it,
It's more of
that raise.
a
Yeah,
problem solution fit, to be honest. Problem
yeah,
solution fit first, and that's I always tell founders, listen, problem solution first, then product market fit. You don't
yeah,
jump to product market fit
of
and
course.
neglect problem solution fit because you're gonna chase and no market for you. You're gonna chase something that is it's kind of a ghost, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I totally agree with you. So how many companies do you invest usually, or you are hoping to invest in next 6 to 12 months?
Uh, Inshallah, يعني the more founders, amazing founders I find on my way, definitely, but I limit myself to 4 up to 8 investments a year from an angel perspective. Now, from the fund perspective, I believe we'll be aiming for uh, 30 companies in the next 36 months, so around 10 as well in the year.
Okay. That's amazing. That's very good. Anything you would like to add at the end of this podcast? And I would love to hear some advices for the
Sure,
founders, some advice for the LPs who want to invest in VC ecosystem in Saudi or MENA region. Please.
sure. For LPs, look for an operator VC. Look for someone who has operator experience. He's the only one who knows the founder's language, first of all. And believe me, he will be able to get into the best deals, not because he's writing the biggest check, no, but he knows ins and outs. And that's something that founders value and will take every time over a fat check. I've heard a founder telling me, Ahmed, you wrote a small check. You give me value more than my lead investor who wrote me $1.8 million check. This is number one. Number two, for founders, find a real problem, validate it, be obsessed with customer feedback, and keep on pushing. Investor advice. Don't approach an investor tomorrow if you're fundraising tomorrow. Build a relationship, build a friendship, build a feedback loop. That will make investors trust you more as a founder. Keep on building and building and building. The sky is the limit. And in Saudi and the wider MENA, we're all here to support that ecosystem. That's my advice.
That's amazing. That's very spot on advice. And for founders, these are the gold words you should always remember, and you should always follow such great advices from the people who have already done exits, who have already run the companies, and who are already investing in the companies. With that great advice, Ahmed, it was lovely talking to you. It was thanks a lot for coming, and as we say in Arabic, shukran for coming to our
Afwan.
podcast. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for having me. All the best of luck and enjoy the rest of the day.
It was nice.
Yes, I think it was very successful. We're waiting uploading, correct? I think 99%.
Yeah, you have to please don't. I will stop the recordings. Yeah, don't exit because it will upload slowly.